worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome to Millennium Sports World. Today we have brought local and international sports stories including ICC World Cup, tennis, golf, MMA, World Soccer and some more sports news. So let's see what's waiting in today's sports world. At first, let's have ICC World Cup stories. Virat Kohli hit 95 as India chased down its target of 274 to beat New Zealand in a match between the only two unbeaten teams at the Cricket World Cup. Tournament host India won by 4 wickets on Sunday after reaching its target with 12 balls left in Dharmshala, finishing at 274 for 6. New Zealand were dismissed for 273 in 50 overs, with Daryl Mitchell making a rapid 130. Kohli came close to tying the record for most one-day international hundreds, held by countryman Sachin Tendulkar with 49. Kohli went for a 6 to get the record and clinch the victory, but was caught near the boundary. It was India's 5th straight win to open the tournament and they topped the table. New Zealand are second after their first loss. Former Pakistan captain Ramesh Raja predicts more misery for his team in the ongoing ICC ODI World Cup as he feels the Babar Azam-led side will start slightly behind Afghanistan in their next match in the tournament if they play in a spin-friendly wicket in Chennai. After beginning their tournament with consecutive wins against the Netherlands and Sri Lanka, Pakistan have suffered 2 crushing defeats on the trot against India and Australia. They will be hoping to put their campaign back on track in their next match, where they will next take on Afghanistan on October 23 at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. However, Raja feels that if the pitch in Chennai assists spinners, the Afghans will start as slight favourites against Pakistan. England fast bowler Reece Topley has been ruled out of the rest of the World Cup after fracturing his left index finger in their 229-run defeat by South Africa, the country's cricket board said on Sunday. Topley injured his finger in the first innings and needed treatment, briefly going off the field, although he returned to bowl and finished with figures of 3 for 88. He did not come out to bat in the run chase when England collapsed. The 29-year-old was England's best bowler at the World Cup with 8 wickets in 3 games. Scans in Mumbai on Saturday after the match at the Wankhede Stadium revealed the full extent of the injury. Topley will return to the UK in the next 24 hours, the ECB said in a statement. He will work closely with England and Surrey medical teams in respect of his rehabilitation. The ECB said a replacement would be announced in due course, but coach Matthew Mott said Jofra Archer, who is among the reserves as he makes his comeback from an elbow injury, would not be included in the squad. Now it's time for latest tennis stories. World number 1 Novak Djokovic will open his 2024 season at the Mixed Teams United Cup in Australia, but injury-plagued Rafael Nadal was not on the Spain team announced Friday. Djokovic will spearhead Serbia at the tournament from December 29 from January 7 in Sydney and Perth as he builds towards the defense of his Australian Open title. Nadal was part of the Spain team in 2023 before injuring his hip at the opening Grand Slam of the year. He has been out of action since and underwent surgery in June. Tennis Australia chief Craig Tiley said this month Nadal planned to make his return to Grand Slam tennis at the Australian Open, which follows the United Cup. Nadal responded on social media by thanking Tiley for his confidence, without confirming if he would appear. There are ATP events in Brisbane, Adelaide and Auckland in early January that Nadal could also use to prepare for the Australian Open. 9 of the world's top 20 men and 5 of the top 10 women will feature at the United Cup, with defending champions, the United States, among the favorites, led by Jessica Pegula and Taylor Fritz. Ben Shelton won his maiden tour title, beating Aslan Karatsev 7-5-6-1 at the Japan Open on Sunday. The 21-year-old American, who made his first tour semi-final appearance at the US Open last month, continued his recent rich vein of form in Tokyo, making 18 winners and dominating his Russian opponent with his swinging lefty serve as he closed out the final in 84 minutes. That meant a lot to me and my team, Shelton said. We have been working really hard since the beginning to build my game and win titles on the ATP Tour. I made some deep runs lately. You see the great champions, they finish weeks off. They win titles, they don't just get to finals. They are able to maintain their level throughout the week. I'm not saying I'm anywhere there yet, but to be able to do it for 1 week, put together 5 matches in a row in Tokyo is really special. Shelton will rise to a career-high number 15 in the ATP's rankings on Monday, having started the season at number 96. During his breakout season, the American advanced to the quarterfinals at the Australian Open, before becoming the youngest American man to advance to the semifinals at Flushing Meadows since Michael Chang in 1992. He also made the quarterfinals at the Shanghai Masters last week. Third-seeded Alexander Bublik of Kazakhstan won his third career title by beating French teenager Arthur Fils 6-4, 6-4 in the European Open final on Sunday. Bublik saved all 3 breakpoints he faced and hit 28 winners to 18 for Fils. When we won the second title with my coach, I said, maybe that's it. Maybe I will never win one more. It was the greatest feeling ever. So being here again, winning another title, it means the world for me, Bublik said on court. Bublik won his first title in Montpellier, France in 2022 and his second in Halle, Germany earlier this year. In their first meeting, Bublik capitalized on a couple of unforced errors by the fourth-seeded Fils to break for a 3-2 lead. He saved a breakpoint in the 8th game with a forehand winner before concluding the opening set with an ace. Fils had a poor start to the second set, dropping serve by sending a forehand into the net. Out of frustration, Fils smashed his racket into the ground. Bublik saved 2 breakpoints at 3-2 with an ace and a service winner. Fils saved 2 match points, but Bublik converted the third with his 11th ace. Bublik was going through a poor run of form before this tournament, losing 5 straight matches on hard court. Gael Monfils won his 12th ATP Tour title and his first in almost 2 years by beating qualifier Pavel Kotov in 3 sets in the Nordic Open final in Stockholm on Sunday. Monfils rallied to triumph 4-6, 7-6, 6-3 and claim a second title at the event, which he also won in 2011. At 37, the French player was the oldest finalist in the tournament's history. The number 109 ranked Kotov came through 2 rounds of qualifying and 4 more in the tournament proper to reach the final, losing just 1 set along the way. Monfils' last title came in Adelaide in January 2022. Now let's have latest golf stories. American colleague Morikawa called winning the Zozo Championship in Japan incredible, a special way to close the season for a player whose great-grandparents immigrated from the country. But more important was a victory. Anywhere, any victory. After a 27-month winless streak on the PGA Tour that started prompting questions about his game, he broke through Sunday with a 7-under par 63 for a 6-shot victory at the Narashino Country Club just outside Tokyo. It feels so good, I can't even explain it, Morikawa said of his 6th PGA Tour win. I knew I was going to get here at some point. It's like getting your first win, your first major. He said he realized that people were asking questions about why he had not won for so long. He said the victory was extra special since his wife Catherine Zhu was in the gallery and gave him a kiss when he came off number 18. She hasn't been to a win since. It's been a long time since she has actually been at the tournament since we won. So it's nice to have her here, he said. Morikawa added that he hadn't done much to change his game but acknowledged the thoughts in your head start piling up. He said part of the challenge was not to overreact to losing. Australian Minjee Lee weathered a late rally by Alison Lee to eventually defeat the American on the first playoff hole and win the LPGA South Korea tournament on Sunday. Both players finished at 16 under 272 on the Seon Valley Country Club course outside Seoul, forcing a playoff, where the Australian made a birdie at the par 4 18th after her namesake saw her birdie attempt narrowly miss. These last few holes I was quite excited to play, and you know we always want to be putting ourselves in that position, in the contending position, week in, week out, and I was lucky enough to do it this week, Minjee Lee said. It's just really fun to play in those type of conditions and those situations. It was 27-year-old Minjee Lee's 10th tour title and second win in her last 3 starts after claiming the Kroger Queen City Championship in Cincinnati in July. Sunday's win makes her the 3rd player from Australia to reach double digits in tour victories, joining Jan Stephenson and Carrie Webb. Now it's time for latest world soccer stories. Bobby Charlton, an English football icon who survived a plane crash that decimated a Manchester United team destined for greatness to become the heartbeat of his country's 1966 World Cup winning team, has died. He was 86. A statement from Charlton's family released by United said he died on Saturday surrounded by his family. An extravagantly gifted midfielder with a ferocious shot, Charlton was the leading scorer for both United and England for more than 40 years until being overtaken by Wayne Rooney. Sir Bobby was a hero to millions, not just in Manchester or the United Kingdom, but wherever football is played around the world, Manchester United said. He was admired as much for his sportsmanship and integrity as he was for his outstanding qualities as a footballer. Sir Bobby will always be remembered as a giant of the game. Alex Ferguson, who managed United from 1986 to 2013, said before Charlton's death that he is the greatest Manchester United player of all time, and that's saying something. Bobby Charlton is absolutely without peer in the history of the English game, Ferguson said. Charlton was also renowned for his humility, discipline, and sportsmanship. He was never sent off in 758 appearances for United from 1956 to 73 or 106 internationals for England from 1958 to 70. Lionel Messi returned to the starting lineup but couldn't prevent his first MLS season from ending in defeat as Charlotte FC beat Inter Miami 1-0 in front of a crowd of 66,101 at Bank of America Stadium. Messi was captain and played the full 90 minutes plus on artificial turf in the meaningless game on Saturday for Miami, which failed to make the playoffs. The game had massive implications, though, for Charlotte. With a win and results elsewhere, the second-tier team qualified for the MLS playoffs for the first time. Kerwin Vargas scored the game's only goal in the 13th minute, but Miami came close on numerous occasions to finding an equalizer that would have ended Charlotte's postseason hopes. Messi had a free kick saved onto the post in the 62nd minute and also had a goal ruled out for offside at the start of the second half. Then, in a thrilling finale, Charlotte goalkeeper Christian Kalina made multiple standout saves to keep Miami out. Charlotte finished 9th in the Eastern Conference to claim the final playoff spot and will face a wildcard match against the New York Red Bulls. Miami, which was 15th and lost in the Eastern Conference when Messi and fellow ex-Barcelona stars Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba arrived in July, finished 14th with 34 points from 34 games. The team was winless in his final 6 league matches and had 4 wins, 4 losses and 4 draws in the league since Messi joined the team. Aston Villa's incredible home form could provide a platform for Iran at the Champions League spots in the Premier League this season. A 4-1 hammering of West Ham on Sunday made it 4 straight wins and 17 goals in the process for Unai Emery's team in its 4 matches at Villa Park so far. Villa moved a point off the top 4 after 9 games and has a couple of players in a strong scoring form. Brazil midfielder Douglas Luiz scored twice and England striker Ollie Watkins added another, with both moving on to 5 for the campaign. Substitute Leon Bailey also netted for Villa. Luiz drove home the 30th minute opener from the edge of the area after a layoff from Watkins before converting a penalty in the 51st following Naif Aguirre's trip on SD Konsa. Jarrod Bowen pulled a goal back for West Ham in the 56th when his long-range shot deflected off Pau Torres and span into the far corner. Watkins, who netted a winner for England against Australia in the recent international break, restored Villa's 2-goal lead with the peak of the goals. He ran onto John McGinn's long ball forward, performed a step over to create a space, then lashed a left foot finish into the roof of the net. Bailey struck a finish into the top corner to crown another impressive home performance from Villa. Now let's have latest MMA story. Lightweight champion Islam Makhachev has retained his title with the first round stoppage of Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 294, an Ultimate Fighting Championship event in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. The Saturday night fight was a rematch from UFC 284 in February, when Makhachev of Russia won by unanimous decision. Featherweight champion Volkanovski of Australia, taking the fight on just 11 days' notice, moved up to the 155-pound limit to be a replacement for former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira, who suffered an injury during training. This fight did not get past 3 minutes 6 seconds of the first round. The 31-year-old Makhachev took down the 35-year-old Volkanovski with a head kick and finished him off with strikes on the ground. "I have a great team. We always did this in the locker room, in the training. Pushed me very hard," Makhachev said. "I showed him a couple of low kicks, couple of body kicks, and then changed to head kick. I want to say thank you to Volkanovski. He is a real champion." The victory brought closure to a rivalry that started when Volkanovski gave Makhachev what might have been the toughest test of his career in their epic 155-pound championship bout at UFC 284 in February. Makhachev defeated Volkanovski with what many felt was a controversial unanimous decision after 5 competitive rounds. Now let's have latest rugby story. Replacement fly half Henry Pollard kicked a last gasp penalty as South Africa somehow found a way to get past a dominant England and claim a 16-15 victory that sent them into a Rugby World Cup final against fellow triple champions New Zealand. The defending champions looked on the verge of defeat on Saturday as England's kicking game kept them pegged back in their own half on a rainy Paris night and earned a 15-6 lead in the semi-final. But they hit back with a try by R.G. Snyman before replacement Pollard landed a penalty from almost on the halfway line to snatch victory. It was a second successive single-point victory for the Springboks after they beat France 29-28, which means the two superpowers of the sport will meet in the final for the second time after South Africa triumphed on home soil in 1995 in their first appearance at the tournament. That's all in today's sports world. Keep watching Millennium Sports World for latest sports update. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all at TV such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jadoo TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all types of informative and entertainment program. Thank you.